Hi everyone, it's Kay here. Thank you very much for joining me today while we do the 2022 Collage Challenge Scavenger Hunt, which is a open collaboration hosted by Julie of Art and Junk Journals with Julie and Leigh of Leigh's Art Studios. And I'll put the links below for those channels. And it's wonderful that they've actually created, Julie did this particular part of it, and she's done a great job, and we hope you get better soon, Julie. So this month is a postal. The idea that you just go around and finding things in your stash related to that particular item. So anybody can join in and just find the items. Like last month was sewing, so that was fun. And this month is going to do postal. So I scavenged some things in my stash that I thought were postal related. Anything to do with postal, really. So I've got this piece of writing paper and an envelope that I just thought I might not use, really, because it's a I don't know why. I don't think I'll use it, but anyway, so we're going to use those because you'd like to write letters. You send them by post. Not that many people do writing of letters anymore, but I think there's still a place for them. You know, that I think sort of some people just really still like doing that whole writing a letter. I tend to write my letters in my cards that I send. The cards that I make myself, I really like doing. So I hope that you can see this, because check my camera. It looks like I'm in focus. Sometimes I think that I'm all at an angle and it doesn't look quite nice. Anyway, so there's my letter and envelope ready to go, and of course you have to put it in a letterbox. So I've got a letterbox here, an old-fashioned letterbox. Don't see very many of these around. Some of the older towns in the country you see these. Saw a few of these sort of like styles when we went to, I think it was Ballarat, which is in Victoria. I think they look lovely. The old style of letterbox. Wonder why they painted them red. Wonder if it's so that people wouldn't bump into them or could see them in the rain, or make them stand out, different from everything else. Certainly very. Keep changing it, and it's still not straight to my liking. Fussy Kay, very fussy. So what else? I've got this huge stamp, which we're going to put in. It's massive. I think it's from Daphne's Diary. Looks like it. I've been doing a Daphne's Diary glue book, and I've been really enjoying, because Daphne's Diary has got some really lovely pictures to work with, and I've been doing lots of watching TV, because I find it quite keep my hands busy. So this is a received thing, but the thing is there's no edging on it, so we might do a bit of an edging. Let's see if we can do it without going on doing an edging, just so that you can see it, because otherwise I'll get lost. Oh, I think that's right. We'll have do you want to be able to see what it says? Okay. Really? No, not really. Let's put it there. Why isn't that sticking down very well? Doesn't seem to be sticking down. I wonder if it's because I didn't stick this bit down. Perhaps I should have stuck that bit down. Just a little bit of glue there might help. I'll have to go to my shops near the Spotlight near soon to get some more glue. I'd love to know, you know, with glue, like I use this glue a lot, but when I get down the bottom I can't use it, and a lot of people, because I can't get it out of the bottle, and a lot of people decant their glue into smaller bottles, and I bought some smaller bottles and I just had real trouble putting in the glue into the smaller bottle. So I'd love to know if you do that. Could you please give me the tip about how you do it? That would be really great. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing some answers. I've got no idea how people do it. I tried. Just didn't seem to sort of go through very easily, or I didn't have a small enough. Do you use a funnel, or what kind of funnel do you use? The small bottles seem to be so narrow to be able to, you know, like if I take the thing off there and tip it out there, I just don't think it will go into the little bottle. Well, I suppose you could do it this way through the nozzle here. But anyway, if you know how to do that particular process, that would be really helpful. Thank you. So I've got some stamps. This is from a stamp book that I found, and the stamps, they've just got a representation of the stamp, and they've got the line through to show there's not a real stamp, but they're really good for collages. This is from an old collection I had from Papercraft, I think it is. And don't ask me the name of it because it's so old I can't remember. But I obviously used it for something else and ripped it up. Ripped it off. Got a penny black. They're supposed to be worth a fortune, penny blacks. Because they're worth a penny, 1 penny, and they're black. And I reckon you pay a fortune for one of those if you actually see one in real life. Where am I going to put this stamp? Over here. Because it's cardboard, I don't think it's going to stick very well with the glue stick. But I see other people using glue sticks and I admire them because it seems to work for them, and I always seem to have trouble. Let's see if that works. And this is from an old, I got it from the same, there was a 12 by 12 paper with all this sort of stuff on it related to stamp. This is just actually to do with Expo 1940, so it's probably not a stamp, but it looks stamp-like, like something you would put on an envelope. So I'm going to use it anyway. I like the little bundle of envelopes down here. See, we came from Britain to Australia when I was 7, and we actually used to use the old blue airmail envelopes where you get a sheet of blue paper and it sort of folds over in 3, narrow, and it sort of sticks around the edges, and that's what we used to use to send our letters. So every Christmas we used to get presents when we were little from our family overseas, and our aunts and uncles and grandparents. And so I remember writing on these envelopes to say thank you for sending the presents. We did that every year. I reckon it's upside down, but who cares? I want it that way. So that's a stamp and something you see on an envelope. And this one says par avion, which means by air. I always remember that being on these blue envelopes. I don't even know if you can get them anymore. I can't see. I've actually seen any. Whether you would be able to find them if you asked them. I've got no idea. Just put that there. Suits my eye better. This is definitely not sticking down. And then, because I don't actually have any wax seals, because before stamps came in, people used to send they just have a piece of paper, fold it over and put a seal on it and send their letters that way. It was no envelopes or anything, it was just the paper. They used to put a seal on it to keep it sealed so that people wouldn't be able to open it until it got to the place that I wanted to. So this is, I saw it's shiny. This is the closest I've got to a seal because I don't have any wax seals. So I'm going to use that because that's what they used before they got stamps. Where should I put it? It's got 3 there. I just like it there better because it seems to sort of go. Okay. So I think I've got some of the things that you could find were postage stamp, handwriting. We could do some handwriting. Should we do some handwriting? Why not? Dear, I used to have a friend that I used to write to. What was her name? Who lives in America, who did scrapbooking, but that wasn't the day before I even knew what scrapbooking was, and she was really heavily into it. I had no idea what she was talking about. Hope you are well. I think I started. I think I used to write that on my letters I send overseas to in my Christmas cards. No, actually, I put it in I send emails now with my letters or emails. Right, so I've got a little bit of writing, postcard. I don't actually have a postcard, but that's all right. I've got other things instead. Letter, well, envelope, and there's all these things here to do with postage. So count how many different items you have found and add that number to your collage. Let's have a look. 3 stamps would count as 1 item, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would count all those together. 7 and the seal is 8. So we're just going to put that number 8 down here. 8. We're going to do Postal up here, like I did for. So I had sewing. Well, it was August. We're going to put September. So this will come out Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month. It usually comes out. They ask us to bring them out, so this is the last day of August today. So no, is it today? The 3rd day, so September, April, June, and November. No, the first is not tomorrow. Oh well. So I'm nice and early for next. What am I doing? What am I doing? Think, Kay. Too busy talking. Just as well as a collage for me, is it really? Oh dear. That's so funny. Oh dear. What am I going to do to cover that over? A little bit of paper. Seth. Yes, Kay. That really fits. There you were, thinking you were good at multitasking. Yeah, right. Try again. So this will be out. This will be nice and early for next month. For next week. Next week's supposed to be for next week. Next Wednesday. So I thought it was supposed to come out tomorrow. I'm hopeless. Oh, I've got to keep an eye on the clock. I've got a specialist ringing me as a follow-up for my knee surgery that I had last year to see if everything's going okay. Because he's on the other side of the town, south of Adelaide, I decided to do a phone consult rather than going over there. So he's going to ring me close to about 12 o'clock. September. Bit of a long story, really. I actually had a knee replacement done 3 years ago, a total knee replacement, because what happened was when I was younger, I went snow skiing and I wrenched the muscle really badly then, and probably should have had a bit more follow-up than I did. Anyway, that's turned into loss of cartilage. So I had a total knee replacement for that reason. And then last year, my knee, literally, you could hear it. It was horrible. You could actually hear it moving in and out. It was actually, you could hear the noise. It was horrible. And just didn't feel safe on it at all. And so I went to see the physio, and I said to her, look, do you think there's something wrong with my knee? I don't want to think it's just in my head. And she said, no, there's definitely too much sideways movement. So I went back to see the surgeon. And he said, how disappointing, because it looks like your, what's it called? Cruciate ligament is either gone or stretched. So because this is the second time I'd been back, sort of like in 3 years, he said that he waived his excess, which I thought was really nice, his excess fee, just paid the basic fee. And no, my health fund paid that, I should say. And so what he did was took the lining out that I had and put a thicker lining in to give my knee a bit more stability, because what has happened is my cruciate ligament has stretched too much. But because having the thicker lining in it just makes my knee a bit, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when I go away, if I drive for long periods of time, it makes it stiffen up more than it did before. So I'll be telling him that. There's nothing he's probably could do much about it, really. I have been doing my exercises that I'm supposed to do, and I walk every day, and I use steps as part of my walking. I try to remember to do the other things. I have to admit I'm not very consistent. Who is? Oh dear. I mean, I was really good to start off with. I did all my exercises, and they were always really pleased with how I was progressing. But the downward step took the longest to get back, and so I went and saw the physio, and she gave me some specific exercise to do that. And going down the stairs is one of the ones I'm trying to incorporate, and that's actually good for my aerobic as well, going up and down the stairs. What else have I got in there? Did I have anything else on there I was supposed to? Oh, I did have sewing down there. Postal. So I've been gathering things for next month as well, and I might do that early because we're going to be away. We're going to a place called Lakes Entrance, which is in Victoria, and it will take us, we think, 3 days to get there. 3 nights stopping, because we don't, when we were younger, we used to just drive miles, and our poor daughters, poor things, we used to get up the crack of dawn and make them. We don't do that anymore, poor things we just used to do. Used to get up really early and just drive for ages, but we don't do that anymore. So to do that trip, we're going to stop a couple of nights on the way over, just to break it up, because it's just too much otherwise. Sometimes you just have to drive, like when we went to Western Australia a long time ago, from Adelaide to Western Australia, it takes a good 3 days to get over the Nullarbor, from here to the other side of the Nullarbor plain, because there's one stretch of road between Eucla, which is near the border, to Norseman, which is the closest town to the border. It takes, 700 kilometres? So, I'm sorry, I don't know what that is in miles. It just takes all day. So that's one stretch you have to do in one day, because there's not much in between. There's a few little stops, but not much else. Like a few petrol stations, but not much else. Anyway, I think that's all I'm going to do for my postal. I hope you really like what I've done, and I quite like the way it turned out. That looks really nice. I think all the ties in really lovely. Anyway, what's next month? As you can see, I've got posted pictures in there next month already. Music. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.